Ah, okay. So, hello guys. Happy Monday. I am Amy Hatland. Like Chandler said, I am under her. I'm her level one. And I am a senior gold. And then I'm also leading today with Ashley. And she is under Taylor Swift. And so you'll get to hear from her in just a little bit. I am going to share my screen. See if I can figure out how to do this. All right, can y'all see that?
Yes, we can see it.
Good. Okay. So we are just going to kind of talk to y'all a little bit about how to have meaningful conversations that eventually will lead to sales. I am going to be completely honest with you. When Chandler first asked me to like help lead this call, I was like, girl, I don't know what to talk about. I was like, oh, I'll just talk to people. Like, how am I going to teach people how to talk? And then I realized I was like, okay, this comes easier for some than it does for others. And I'm a teacher, so I'm just like a natural talker. I can stand up and talk to kids all day about whatever topic I need to. And so it just comes naturally for me. And I feel like in this business, something that is easy to fall into is kind of feeling like we have to follow a certain script. And it kind of leads to more of like a sales driven conversation than just having a true, heartfelt, genuine conversation with people, because that's just honestly who we are. We are just humans. Okay. So first, let's see. Okay. Like I said, I am a teacher, and if you know teachers or know anything about how we roll, like we always have objectives. And so I figured our objective would be kind of like an affirmation that Chandler has always spoken into me. And instead of just saying like, I'm going to do this, like, why? Why am I great at having real heart-centered conversations with people that naturally turn into customers? And so that's kind of like our objective and affirmation. And if you feel like this is something you struggle with daily or just in your business at all, like start asking yourself this question, because the more you speak it into existence and ask yourself, like the more your brain is going to believe it. So that is our affirmation for today. And then just check, we're just checking the vibe. Like, how are you doing today? Drop it in the chat. Give us some emojis. So I hope everybody's doing good. It's a Monday, it's a new week, so I love it. We have like 4 more weeks of school left and I'm pumped. But okay. So starting with, why do meaningful conversations even matter? It's because, like, yes, we sell products, but people don't just buy the products. People are buying solutions to their problems. And if we don't know their problems, we can't effectively sign them as customers or sell our products to them. And so once people like naturally feel seen or heard and understood, those sales are just naturally going to happen. It's not going to feel so forced, because people are going to buy from people that they trust. Are we still good on waiting room? Nobody's waiting, right? Okay. Um, and so we don't want to be just kind of like complete strangers or salesy robots or anything like that. We have to build trust. And so our sales are more of like a byproduct of our connection with people. And so when people feel valued, they naturally become curious about what we have to offer. And so when we're honest, when we're ourselves, and when we're genuine, something, people are just going to be naturally drawn to that. And so, something I saw, I don't know where I saw it, but it said your network is like your net worth. And so once you start building those genuine connections with people, your community is going to grow, your network is going to grow. And when those things happen, like your funnel starts to fill up, and obviously you're going to see more sales and see your business grow, in return for that. So when me and Ashley got together, we kind of came up with 4 of the main like key elements of a meaningful conversation. And these are the 4 things that we came up with. And we're going to kind of dive into each one a little further in just a second. But we've got curiosity comes first. Then you're going to listen like a pro. You're going to offer but don't push. And then you're going to just follow up like a friend. Is my thing in the way? Can y'all see my videos of people? I didn't think about that. Okay.
No, that's just your screen, so we each have our own setup
Okay,
based on
just
our
making
photos.
sure you
You're
can see
good.
my videos. Okay, so those are our 4 key elements. And so the first key element that we wanted to talk to you about is just being curious, like putting that curiosity first. And I know y'all hear this all the time, but just like ask good questions. Really try to understand where they're coming from, so that we're not just selling to people, that we're showing genuine interest to people, and understanding like where they're starting. Why are they curious? What problems are they trying to solve? And then we have to continue to stay curious. Like even after the conversation starts to build, maybe they're interested at first or you wait and this is just kind of a follow-up conversation. We have to remember that all of their goals and their dreams and their struggles can evolve and can change throughout your conversation and your relationship. So continue to stay curious and continue to ask questions. Because once again, people are going to feel that you're genuine. And if you're genuinely curious about how they are and what they're wanting to get out of this, then they're going to trust you more. So some questions that you could start with is just like saying like, what's been a focus for you lately in your health and your wellness journey, or what has you curious about our gut health products? Are you trying to find relief from anything specific? What problems are you trying to solve? Sometimes I've used this in the past and I was like, if you could wave a magic wand and in 3 months you feel incredible, like what would that look like for you? And so just really continuing to ask those questions, dig deeper, because sometimes the symptoms that they originally share with you aren't the deepest issues that they're having. You know, they don't even realize that they're having those issues. And I know that was like my case when Chandler first enrolled me too. So just continue to stay curious, continue to ask questions, and just listen, which leads me to my next point. So the next key element is just listen. Okay, listen like a pro, listen like a human. You need to listen 80%, but talk 20%. Sometimes, and I know I was guilty of this at the beginning, is that I would literally just get into conversations and word vomit. I would find some lengthy scientific post or about how probiotics work and screen or like copy and paste and send it to some people. And it would overwhelm them and they would just like ghost me after that, which I would have too. Like I overwhelmed the crap out of some people and you just can't do that. And so you need to talk 20%, listen 80%, and just let them do the talking. Continue to ask those questions and then let them do the talking. And then as they're talking, mirror back what they say. Kind of repeat some of the things like repeat some of the things that they're saying. Like from what you're saying, I understand this, or it sounds like you're really struggling with this. And just start mirroring back what they say. And when you repeat some of the things that they say, and even that they've said earlier in the conversation, they'll notice. They're going to notice that you really have been listening, and taking note of what the things are that they have told you. Whoop, hold on. I went too fast. Okay. And then just keep those responses short. Like I said, don't word vomit. Try to find some common ground and relate to them somehow. Okay, so relatability can build trust faster than being an expert. And we know like we're not experts here. I know I'm not an expert on these products, but I know what I've experienced. I know what some of my friends have experienced. And so just relate to them. Send them some testimonies. I still use the Gut Health and Happiness Facebook page to send testimonies to. I sometimes just screenshot if you don't want to add them to the group. Relate through shared experiences. That's where we could use that like feel, felt, found when we're talking to people, and just really start relating to them while you're listening to them, just so that they feel heard, because that is so, so important. So, and yeah, and just empathize with them. If they come up with some objections, which we get all the time, empathize with them and relate to them. And then y'all can work together to find a solution or to overcome those objections, whether it might be price or It's just they feel like they're too busy to join the business or whatever. Just sympathize with them, and so that they know that they're not alone. Those feelings that they're having are not, they're not an alien in that sense, and that you've felt those things too, or you know of somebody that have felt those things, and then they can relate to that. So I think that's all I have. We'll let Ashley go ahead and take over the next key elements.
Perfect. Okay, guys. Hi, I'm Ashley. And we're going to finish up these last two little slides here. And the next one is offer, don't push. This is a huge one for me personally. I've been kind of in the network marketing arena, I guess you could say, for a little while. And even now, like I have a lot of people coming at me in my DMs. I think probably they feel comfortable, maybe because I do the same thing. And you can really see the difference of an offer and a pushy offer or salesy offer. So you want to gently give your recommendations and offer options. So giving them a couple different options that might fit the solution to their problem. And again, like it says right there, you want to remember to go back to that initial problem. And like Amy said, it could change. You could, as you're listening, you could hear, because I have to say this, when I first started getting into learning about gut health, a lot of that stuff on that list, I had no idea was relatable to gut health. And things that have also been, improved or cured in me personally from starting on the products, I also didn't know those were problems that I was having due to gut health. So that's something, again, that listening is really going to come into play. But what you want to kind of word it with is with authenticity, because when you start focusing inward, like, oh gosh, they're starting to ask questions, they want maybe products and things like that, you are people tend to get excited, we start to fire hose, we get like, oh my gosh, the sale's happening. Well, it doesn't happen until it happens. Like, slow down, don't feel like the sale is closed, and don't focus inward that you're getting that sale. It's a checkbox, right? You've got your 3 or your 6 or whatever for the month. Just remember that you want to share with them what helped you or what you think might help them. And what else did I have? Oh, yes. So that in basically that sharing that genuinely and authentically to you can lead into the next slide. I think, Amy, if you can hit to the next one. Thanks, doll. Can everybody hear me okay? Good. Okay. Okay, so the next one is, let's say you offer all the things, and they want to think about it, or they want to talk it over, or they want to do some research. I mean, those are kind of common answers. You guys can put in the chat what answers you get. Sometimes they just ghost altogether. And what I have found, and a lot of the people in my like on my level ones are people I directly know. I'm seeing them at the gym. I'm seeing them in at Bible study or church or whatever it might be. So you want to, again, not focus inward. You want to focus on them, still following up like a friend. You're following up saying, hey, how's it going with, how's your sleep going? Are you feeling any better? Maybe they wanted to try something else first. I've had that before too, or they'll try one that they keep seeing the Instagram ads and they want to try that first because it's bougie or whatever. So, again, you're trying to keep that relationship going, keep that friendship going, and make sure it's not awkward. If they say no, or not right now, or they want to try something else, or they want to think about it and go over it, you need to take a step back, breathe, whatever you need to do to calm yourself down emotionally. And remember, you're just building that relationship. It's a not right now, maybe. Or maybe they go straight for it, and then you're following up like a friend with the products once they get them. You're following up with, anything else maybe you can help them with. Maybe they have kids and maybe their gut health is off, their husbands, whatever. And you want to continue to build that trust and maintain that connection, no matter if it's a sale or not. So basically, as we put on this other little slide, just be a good human. Just be a friend. Okay. All right. We'll go to the next slide there. Thank you. Okay. So the conversation flow, you're going to first talk about you're figuring out their health goals. You're going to ask open-ended questions and listen to them. Maybe you're sending that symptom chart. You honestly, like it says right here, you cannot move forward without knowing their starting point and without knowing where they want to end up. Like, what are their end goals? The next thing is you're going to build that belief that, one, that they can trust you, and two, that you're hearing what they're saying. They want to know that you're hearing them talk about their, PCOS, or maybe they don't know what they have. Maybe they're just like, for me, I was just, moody. I was super fatigued in the afternoon. I was having trouble losing weight. I felt bloated all the time after every meal. And all of that, is relatable, I think, for a lot of us in this, but there's some other specific cases. So in that case, I would either reach out to our chat groups, or utilize our Facebook groups, like the Gut Health and Happiness, and utilize those for certain testimonials, certain product references, and things like that. So that way it's relatable to their specific problem. Next, for the products, you're making a 1 to 2 product combo options. I've heard it mentioned in here, like a good, better, best scenario. I can't say personally that I have done that. I usually do 2 options. I usually always lead with the triplex because that's where they're going to get the most bang for their buck. And I think it really helps literally everyone. But maybe they can't bite off that as far as like the price goes. So then I offer another option that's usually, slim with either, depending on what other symptoms they have. I'll make another option like Metaburn and Slim kind of thing. Send those graphics, those videos that you have, like the triplex video. And those are really good because they'll kind of speak a lot for you. And if they truly watch them, I would just watch with the videos, the length on them, because a lot of people aren't going to give up X amount of time. I send a lot of like the ones for like Jessica Heffley has, and actually Chandler, even when it talks about detox and things like that, I send those as well. So, and then lastly, you're talking about pricing. And for this, building that belief is really going to make that pricing like whatever. They're going to buy it because you built that belief in the product. The testimonies speak for themselves. Your testimony speaks for itself. No one can ever take that away. They might not know Chandler. And if I give her story to them, they're like, oh, okay, well, I don't know her. She could be some celebrity for all I care, and but if it's your story, no one can take that away from you. Like, that is your story. So if you're sharing all of that to build that belief, the pricing will hopefully just kind of be like, okay, I will give it, 60 to 90 days. And, that's great. That's what you want. You don't want to just sell them on a quick fix, 30-day type thing. Like, try it for a month. Well, you're not going to see the results after a month. 60 to 90 days is really what I always say in my other things. And then, of course, you're mentioning if you have any offer promotional codes or anything like that you have, obviously that sweeten the pot. I saw a few girls today in the Golds group, sharing great things today just for these last 3 days, maybe a special gift that you want to send them, something from Amazon, like a special tumbler or whatever that is to sweeten the pot. Because a lot of times, I'm one of those people, I like free stuff. So if I'm going to get some free stuff out of it, I'm getting more bang for my buck personally. So that's that. And next slide, Amy. Thank you, darling. All right, so here's your action steps. Going out of this, you're going to have 5, and I think that's pretty setting the bar a little low, but I think you could start some other conversations. Meaningful conversations. So truly concentrating, focusing on the person in front of you, whether that's on social media, whether that's at the gym. I work at a gym 1-ish days a week. A lot of my conversations actually happen when somebody's telling me something that, like, oh gosh, I'm just so exhausted all the time, or just little seeds there. And that gets me to starting a conversation like, well, what are you doing for that? Like, kind of building that relationship. And then I might follow up in a message later on. I'm not going to like spew everything gut health right at them right then and there, but I'm kind of gaining knowledge a little bit about what their issue might be. And then I'm taking it home with me and I'm going to message them later. So that's just kind of a little something that I personally do. And then, yeah, again, you're focusing on the connection first. The solutions come second. So again, just kind of example of what I just said. You're focusing on that connection first by having that conversation with them, getting to know what their issues might be. And then you're going to follow up later, maybe with a solution. And lastly, Amy. So when you focus on building real relationships, sales will naturally follow. And also keep in mind that it might not be them that they necessarily want to get started on products. Sometimes they know somebody near them. So asking, hey, I understand you're not ready right now to maybe start your gut health. Is there anybody else in your surroundings that you feel that I could help? Because a lot of times they're gonna like, oh, my kid really hasn't pooped in like 2 weeks, kind of thing, or my husband, my mom, my sister, whatever it might be. So again, you're building that relationship to maybe ask for a referral within that. So I really think, if you're just building the relationship, people are they buy you, right? They don't want to be sold to. They want to feel better. That's really, at the end of the day, you should just go out asking yourself, who can I help today? Even if it's just one person, you know what I mean? That one person adds up. Like, even if it's one person every 3 days, you know what I mean? There's a lot of, there's a lot of days in a month. So you got 3 days left in this month, right? Ask who you can help and reach out, like, and look at people's stories on their, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Listen to what they're saying too, because a lot of times they have issues and you can reach out personally and say, hey, like, I heard this, like, what's going on? Like, are you taking anything? Is there anything, kind of doing a little bit of work in building that relationship, not just spewing plexus, like, hey, I have a product for you. They don't want to hear that. They probably get that 10 times when they share a story like that, because I know I did. So again, you're building that relationship. The sales will follow naturally. And that's all I got, guys. Amy, you got anything else? No. I can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Amy. Your microphone's not working.
Well, at least it happened afterwards.
Y'all, this was so good. So freaking good.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm like trying not to cry because I'm like this proud mother hen. And I'm just having a flourish, and I'm like, where have y'all been? Like, this is quality training. Quality.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's so
I'm
weird.
gonna stop the recording.
Yes.
Thanks.
Where's that at? Oh,
Bottom of the screen.
I found that.